It's really cool the way it is. And I'll offer a counterpoint to you. I can drag my, sorry, 260-pound butt up that thing for hours at a time. So, thanks.
All right, we got the rope tow challenge going on here now. Let's go. Let's go. I think, Jeff, did you? Susie,
most of the comments have already been made for keeping it for the youth, which is good. And I know. Hello, is this working?
Yep.
Oh, okay, real close. It's been as far as ice skating or Nordic skiing. And Nordic skiing is great, but Hickory's been a alpine skiing area from the beginning, and we produce a lot of good alpine skiers from the community out of there. And I sometimes think it's not promoted as much. I think there's still a lot of kids in the community that don't ski that ought to be out of Hickory doing some of this stuff. And I think Traverse City, I know we've had some real good skiers come out of Traverse City, and you need hills for alpine skiing anyway. You know, ice rinks, and I know you need some hills for Nordic skiing, but I think just promoting it for the youth and alpine skiing, and I think if it was really promoted in the community, we could have. I raced on my ski team, and all the good skiers from northern Michigan, you know, were from Traverse City, and a big part of that was because of Hickory Hills, and I just think that it ought to be promoted more among the youth.
Visibility.
And I think, you know, Traverse City could become a place where we're watching the Olympics on TV right now. There ought to be more people from Traverse City at the Olympics. So.
Great. Thanks, Jeff. Other comment? No. Thanks. The toss there.
I'm Richard Wolf, and I access Hickory Hills from a different perspective than you folks. Summertime, I use it for walking my dog. Wintertime, I snowshoe. I will admit this winter I haven't been over because it's too hard to break a trail from my property on M72. But one of the things that I want to second is the fact that those are the best behaved group of kids that you're going to run across. You know, I come from the Detroit area. I would have expected to see a lot of vandalism, but I just don't see any. In the evening, I can hear the kids across the valley, across Benzonia State Road. I can hear the kids over there cross-country skiing, and it sounds like they're having a good time. I guess like I said, the hiking part of it and the fact that I get to cross-country ski over there, or not I snowshoe, is something that might add a little to it also, if you could provide something for snowshoers.
Thank you. Other thoughts, comments, questions?
One
You get
more.
two, Mike? What did he do?
Well, it's time for seconds,
Yeah,
right?
there you go. Right. Yeah. Second round.
Who's up for more? So most of the ski areas that I go to in the area have opened up a lot of glade skiing opportunities. And really, Hickory has some fabulous glade areas that really would require minimal effort to open up, and it's something that more and more skiers around the area are taking advantage of, and I think it'd be a great opportunity at Hickory as well.
Thanks.
Hi, my name's Heather Wares, and I'm a parent of some kids that ski there. And I just learned as well on the tow ropes. I'm a rookie, and I can do them. But I'm also a teacher in the community, and I teach at West Middle School. And it's really unfortunate. I will piggyback on reaching out to the children, how many kids don't really know about it or don't utilize it. There's a lot of kids who need somewhere to go, especially middle school kids, and they go home, they sit, especially with winters like this, they need somewhere to go. And so maybe reaching out to the schools or something like that to include those kids, because there's a lot of kids that need something to do, a healthy option. So.
Great, thank you.
I'm going to do seconds again too, because I had a thought on that. My grandchildren, I have a couple of grandchildren up in Harbor Springs, and the school system teaches everybody in gym to ski. 3 days of free ski lessons at one of the hills up there. They're all set to go, chairlifts, everything, and we could have that here.
Great.
There was a comment about things in other parks and stuff, the Civic Center, skateboarding park and everything. But from the comments I've heard from again grandchildren, it's overused. We need more. We need more places for kids to do things. And Hickory Hills would be a great place for bikes. Use for that too.
Great. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Steve Meach. I go back a long ways on having learned how to ski at Hickory Hills, and I've taught skiing off and on for about 40 years. And as I look at this and think about the opportunity to engage more children, I think the real limiting factor is lack of rental skis, because there's a definite stratification on income that occurs with skiing or snowboarding. I don't know if there's any way to incorporate their ski swap into that. And I'm also cognizant of the fact that there's probably some liability issues that would accrue, but I think that's a huge limiting factor. I've taught out at Crystal the ski programs out there and the evening programs, and the vast majority of those kids come in and are on the rental skis from all the different schools that go out there during the winter. So,
Yeah, I think that's certainly something that stuck out for Adam's group, was really that as a limiting factor, and you may speak to that.
Yeah, and I didn't mean to we don't always mean to stress the revenue side of things. That's just one component of it. It's really more of it's right.
Accessibility.
It's an accessibility issue, right?
Good.
Hi, I'm Amy Howell, and I'm an active alpine tele skier, PSIA, coach, whatever. Anyway, but I recruit middle school.
Amy, I'm sorry, I think the mic went off or something on the bottom. Is the light on?
Hello? Okay, great. Thank you. So I recruit middle school cross-country skiers, and we have a bus that goes from West Middle School to the Catholic Middle School to East Middle School. And we have 65 kids participating this year, and we are all volunteer coaches. Well, we only have 8 students representing the West Side. The rest is all from East. The West Side does not have... They don't even just even feel compelled to even go there to Nordic ski on the Vasa Trail. I just think we need Hickory. I would love to see a West Side team, and I would just love to see TC West, and maybe even tap into Glen Lake, and getting those kids even just a little bit less of a drive during the weekdays. They can enjoy Vasa maybe on the weekends. But anyway, I just wanted to speak to that. So, thank you.
Thank you. Other comments?
There's one over there, all the way across.
Now we'll hear from the real experts.
Yes.
You have to hold it up close if you would. Thank you.
I race, and my family has skied there for a long time. My grandparents ski there, my parents ski there, my grandpa skied there. It's a place for fun for kids. I think it's fun because the parents just drop us off and we go ski. That's what we do.
And you get rid of those guys.
I gotta hijack this one. We used to live in Slab Town, and I went and walked my dog daily in the meadows and Hickory area. And what I appreciate about Hickory Hills is the naturalness of it. So we don't have a lot of development or flashy climbing walls or new technology. It's very, it's very natural. You feel very at peace when you're in the environment. And I would hope that as we think about options to increase usage and access, that we consider preserving that element of it. I am really surprised. I use the area a lot, and I at times have difficulty finding parking. It's used a lot, and so I'm very surprised at the commentary about how it's not used. I go there regularly and have difficulty finding parking. Go there any Sunday, and believe me, you'll find yourself way out in the meadows looking to ride a snowbank to put your car. So I'm surprised that we don't recognize how much it is used currently.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Samantha Olson. I'm a Hickory parent from before, and I have older teens now. You guys need to ask the kids what they want. They're out there all year round. They go out, they disc golf, they have needs for disc golf that they want met. In the park areas, on the hills, they have things that they'd like to see designed and built. I think you need to ask the kids, especially the older group, what they foresee and what they know will help the little ones too. So I think you're missing a whole point of a perspective that you need to access.
So what's the best way to get to them? Social media? Or,
yeah.
I mean, they're not going to take a survey.
I tried to get my
lame.
son to come tonight, and he's like, I couldn't talk in front of all those people. I'd just, shut right down. But he has all sorts of comments, ideas. He comes home all the time going, I wish they did this. I wish they had that. And there's a whole group of them, that I can I think of 20 of them right off the top of my head that all have comments about it. And they're there all the time, all year round.
I don't know what we can do about that, Mac, but I would encourage, even if parents have teenagers, take the survey for them. Fill it out, fill it out twice. Do your own and then do theirs. And do it from their perspective. And, there's comment bars and open space to type things in that are missing. I think one of the things we do recognize is that the terrain side of things in terms of features and parks and freestyle skiing could, it's almost like the rental side of things. It's missed, and there's a number of reasons that's happening. But Highlands Ski and Snowboard in Minneapolis has 120 vertical, and they got the best park. It looks like it's coming out of Breckenridge. I mean, it's incredible, and the terrain here is not limiting that. So.
I think one thing, and maybe the group can talk a little bit about that, is some venue to do that. Have a smaller group of interested kids to come down, draw on a map, do that kind of stuff, and we can kind of do that maybe offline or some separate kind of arrangement. Yeah, in a comfortable setting that kind of gets around.
Focus group kind of a setting.
Yeah, yeah, that they can have the maps right there. We can take the maps right there and have people mark it up and draw it up and say the stuff. Yeah, yeah.
A pizza party.
Yeah, yep, that's a great suggestion.
Not from
Good.
the food consumption.
Make it
Does the survey accommodate?
Can we do? I'm sorry, do the microphone.
Does the survey accommodate younger kids to take that? Can we tell our kids we need to do this?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is there age group registered in that?
Age group. So in the earlier questioning, there's an age group thing. We want to know what age group you're in, but there's nothing that's limiting the kids or anything. It allows us to track kind of, who's answering what questions. Let me go back here. I'll show you to you.
I was just curious if it would register those kids so that they're
under 18.
As an age group.
And honestly, if you want to create younger categories, we can still do that. And it's not going to screw up any data. So if you wanted to go 6 to 10, 10 to 18.
Great. Yeah. There's a. Oh, yeah. Thanks.
My name's Nate Griswold, and I think we're talking a lot about the skiing and the snowboarding and the cross-country skiing, but in the summertime, I think some mountain bike trails definitely need to be thought about up there. Some great terrain. out there, and I think it would be an asset that I definitely would use, and a lot of my friends would use. And it's a year-round activity that, I mean, it could even be fat bike trails in the wintertime, away from the current skiing activities and the other stuff going on there. So,
what like specifically would single track, skills park? What do you think would be used?
all of the above.
All of the above. Okay.
I think they need to be linked. I think that's a great idea with the. I think it's a great idea with the trail system to really pull that together. If there's a way, and I know there's discussion, with the TART program of linking those trails together. And I know it's complicated because of private property and so on, but if it's possible, that would be a huge asset to try to link, some of the trail systems that are over at the Commons with Hickory Hills and the Meadows, and just expand that whole thing. Exactly.
They're working on it.
Yep.
Ted Lockwood. I'd like to echo the sentiments of the guy from Slabtown here that said how nice Hickory is and how we got to be very careful not to wreck it. Because it's been operating the way it's been operating for 50-some years or more. 60, okay. And it is awfully special to a lot of us. So I know that there's fiscal concerns, but it is a park. And I often say to myself, and I've had discussions with multiple people in this room, how much money does F&M Park generate? Okay, I mean, we got to look at the whole picture. Okay, so I think it's really important that we keep in mind that there are, we do have fiscal responsibilities with our budget and in the city, but it is we got to be careful that we don't wreck it, and it would be very easy to wreck, I believe.
Can you and I'm not challenging you in any way. I just want to better understand what in your mind or in everyone's mind here, what wrecking it means.
Some of the comments that were made about as to the history of the lodge and how you feel when you go in that lodge.
Okay.
That number one. Number two, the rope tows. The rope tows are a staple for all of it. Period.
I got actually a really good tagline for Hickory.
Excuse me?
I got a really good tagline for Hickory. Ride the ropes. I mean, and anyone who steals that, I'm coming after you.
Thanks. Ropes course to go with it. So, and one other caveat. And the other comment about communities and phys ed classes, I just spent 2 weeks in Telluride, and they have mandatory PE skiing for everybody in the school. Period. End of story. And I'm not saying we can do that here, but I mean they load up a pickup truck and they load up the bus, and everybody on Wednesday for 2 hours goes out and skis at Telluride. I mean it's neat. So I think that comment I think was wonderful. But so to answer your question directly, how not to wreck it. I'm apprehensive about a lot of expansion. Some of the I think the comments that Olson made about having some of the kids speak to what we could. I mean, if we had some more features or things like that the snowboard kids and twin tippers like to use, that sort of thing would really help. But my biggest comment is just let's be careful that we don't wreck the thing because it's special to a lot of us.
But if there was more, and this is ski focused, so I apologize for it's to be that all the time right now. But if there was more terrain, do you feel that would be wrecking it?
I don't know. I'm a little old school, but there's probably places that we could expand to. But I don't necessarily know if that is going to be meeting. Is that really going to help our objective? Maybe safer routes, possibly yes, but the other ways to get more kids involved and more people involved, rental skis available. making it affordable as we've kept it affordable to ski, that sort of thing, to expand our, I mean, our objective is to try to get as many kids out there as possible, be it Nordic skiing. In the comments about, we've produced a lot of skiers from Hickory Hills. Yes, we have. We've also produced a lot of Nordic skiers. You cannot forget the amount of Nordic skiers that we've produced from this area too. And I think that, some of the trails that have been created out there years ago, yes, have overgrown, and that's definitely an area we need to, go towards.
Great. Okay, I think over in the side over there. We'll try and keep on schedule and have about 5 or 10 more minutes here. We're happy to stay as long as you
Hello.
like, but,
To Ted's point, I think the economic side of it, there needs to be better education for the public, the rest of the public that aren't using Hickory Hills, yet still have to subsidize it in their tax base, because what's not mentioned in the numbers, if you look at it in a vacuum, to his point about F&M Park, what revenue does F&M Park, how does that benefit the city? And has there been an economic impact study to indicate, how many restaurants are being used? Well, if Hickory Hills went away, how would that affect the tax base? So I think the city or the supporters can do a better job educating the public, the voters, that you can't look at this in a vacuum. So.
Hi, my name's Kay Crapel, and I don't have children, but I have lots of friends who are parents of children. And to mirror the young gal's comment that the best thing about Hickory is I get to dump my parents. I grew up in the UP, and the best thing about learning how to ski was, hey, Dad, hey, Mom, I'll just meet you at the lodge at 12 o'clock, and we ruled. It was have snowplow, we'll travel. It didn't matter. We conquered every place, and it was a great confidence builder. But also, to your point, some of the invisible benefits of keeping kids fit, and that after school lull when the parents are at work, and that sense of safety. Hey, my kids are at Hickory. I know they're being watched by their peers and the older kids, and also the other parents who are there. But having a place where they can be engaged and active and not feel, because there's a variety of terrain there for all skill levels, not necessarily feel excluded. I know sports, for me, has been a great social equalizer, and I think that's what I feel the spirit of Hickory is. And when people say don't get rid of that, keeping it safe, maybe in the cul-de-sacs somehow, I know you guys will figure it out, but that little gal over there hit it dead on. I get to drop my parents. It's mine.
Can you turn that? The mic, I think, is off.
press it down for a little while.
Hello. Oh, there we go. I learned to ski there. My kids did. My dad was instrumental in starting the ski club with many other people from Traverse City as well. I agree with the kid thing. I really do. I support that. But I also think we have to remember too that it's also a family area. I can still do the toes with my grandkids. My kids were there by themselves. I could drop them off, but I can ski with my grandkids there. And I also think we have to remember it is important that we have an area where families can also go and afford to go. And when I was, I'm a past president of the ski club as well, every year, we struggled, and I think somebody mentioned educating people it's monumental. For people to know what goes on up there. I honestly know something about the financial thing, and I know it takes money to run it. I know that. And the ski club has been helpful, and but if we educated, I think that's another thing. I second Nordic. I understand that maybe using it in the summer as well. Because I've been on that financial end of it, being a president of the ski club and knowing how much it took and how much we've backed them up. But there's a lot of other people that have as well. But I guess my point is too that obviously the children, we are a recreational mecca. And we need those kind of things, but I think we also have to think about the families that would be using, adults as well. So if whatever it takes, but I do second it being for the community and families, our families in our community. So thank you.
Thank you. Susie, we have a couple comments here.
How's it going, guys? I'm Kevin. I grew up skiing at Grand Traverse Ski Club, and that is one of the best things ever. I wouldn't be where I am today if it weren't for the ski club, and I know a lot of you in here wouldn't be either. The ski club is a great thing, and there's no reason to mess with it. But the issue is here, how can we generate more revenue? And it's not, the answer isn't with messing with the ski club, it's with spreading to larger demographics of people. So Highland has one of the best parks in the Midwest. They have lots of pros that come out of there. And so I think a terrain park is a huge thing. And I think if you opened a new rope on the backside, did all-terrain park, that wouldn't mess with the ski club, it wouldn't mess with anybody, but it would create a lot of excitement for the kids. And another thing I think that needs to happen is you need a good marketing and events coordinator that's passionate about the community. It's a beautiful place in the summer. There could be concerts, there could be art galleries, there could be all sorts of things. And I think that that space needs to be utilized for that. And if there's someone that's in place, that's in the community, that can be able to do that, I think that would be really beneficial.
Thank you.
That's it.
Your father must be very proud of you.
Anyway, I don't mean to speak twice, but I'm Gary Keys, but I would like to say I learned from Pepe Teichner. A lot of people learned here from Jerry Stonick. A lot of people have to look up at the people that taught them in the beginning and said, be safe, be careful, and we need a person like that year-round. Okay, we really do. We need a leader that cares about kids skiing, they care about the community, they care about the spirit of Hickory Hills, they care about perpetuating the same kind of feeling, they care about, we need a leader that would be there. And when my grandmother and I donated the city 1965 for $2,500, we wanted to perpetuate it for the kids. Thank you.
I just quickly wanted to say hello. Thank you for that, because it is there for the kids. And just to back up a little bit of what people are saying about kids and cul-de-sac and family, I learned to ski at Hickory. My kids are there. But I'm looking around the room, and I can see 20 people. I've counted 20 people that know my kids, that know them by name, and that see them at Hickory all the time. People that I graduated with or skied with or have known my whole life. And now they are there with their kids. And we all keep an eye on each other. And it's wonderful. It's a gem.
Great. Thank you all very much. Really appreciate the comments. Please keep track of the city website, because that's where the information will be posted all of the time, and we'll continue the dialogue. Thank you all very much. Thanks.
Yeah.
Good.
No, that hasn't changed.
Time for a brisket.